talking about the culinary world, let's welcome our creative culinary architects to explore chefpreneurs, ladies and gentlemen, building brands beyond the kitchen. For the same, I now request our panelists to kindly join us on stage. Please give it up as we welcome Mr. Shravan Juvvadi, founder and CEO of Tabula Rasa, pioneering experimental and experiential dining. Let us all put our hands together as we welcome him, ladies and gentlemen. I now request Nagabharanam to kindly join us on stage, the brilliant founder of Panchakattu Dosa, sealing and scaling traditional street flavors. Last but not the least, ladies and gentlemen, let us all give it up for the very gorgeous Muskan Dadu, managing partner of Dadu Sweets, leading brand evolution and heritage sweet craft. Having said that, ladies and gentlemen, to moderate the session, I now request our moderator to kindly join us on stage. Please give it up for Good Noorjahan. She's the co-founder of #Marketing India and a passionate advocate for women empowerment. Can we all give a huge applause to all our panelists and of course our moderator. Thank you so much. Over to you.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you to SAS Infra for having the Hyderabad Economic Forum. And currently I'm having a fangirl moment because the creators of my most favorite food and desserts are right here seated with me. So before we kickstart, of course, 2 decades ago almost when I came to Hyderabad, everything was about biryani. Today, that's not the case. And I know that we are soon aiming to be a culinary capital. So I want to kickstart with that. Nagabharanam should take over and tell me how far are we from biryani today.
So, hi, myself Nagabharanam. I'm the founder of Panchakattu Dosa. Before I talk about this, I want to tell you a small story about a region called Rayalaseema. So Rayalaseema is the most backward place in entire country and lowest rainfall. I born and raised there, and the food that we are serving here at Panchakattu Dosa is a Rayalaseema cuisine. So I born and raised there, and as like lakhs of people who are coming to Hyderabad just for the jobs and livelihood, I also one of them. So I came here to find a job. And I worked here for a bit, and then I've started Panchakattu Dosa. So Panchakattu Dosa, we serve authentic Rayalaseema breakfast. So before that, I was working. When I was working here, I was not liking anything in dosa segment. So I was having that gap in my mind. So that's where the Panchakattu Dosa idea brewed in my mind. Before that, the Hyderabad was called only the biryani capital. Now, in Hyderabad, apart from biryani, so there are like so many other cuisines are growing up. Dosa is one among them. Not in just Hyderabad, dosa is like a superstar in the entire country these days. So we are having right now 6 outlets in Hyderabad. So we are serving authentic food here. Thank you.
So Shravan, do you want to add to that? We're no longer all about biryani.
Sorry?
We're no longer all about biryani. So could you please add to that?
There was one time where everyone was looking at biryani in the night before Tabula Rasa came in with Telugu music.
Loud.
So yeah, I'm Shravan. I am the owner of Tabula Rasa, Hyderabad. So when we first launched Tabula Rasa, it was not meant to be a Telugu music dominant bar. We started off a live music bar. So in the process of doing live music, what we gauged over a couple of months is that there's no soul in the music in other languages when it comes to Telugu audience when they're listening or drinking. So they end up going to their cars and listening to radio for their favorite languages. So that triggered us to really get that into the mainstream. So we created a community around Tabula Rasa. So we started nurturing musicians to perform Telugu music. I think that's the game changer, and we kind of built more than 50, 60 bands around Hyderabad. So which now the bands are performing internationally everywhere. So yeah, that's how Tabula Rasa started.
All right, all about the mithai now.
Well, you talked about why people are coming to Hyderabad and what's special food about Hyderabad. So I'll give a shout out again to dosas because all my friends coming to Hyderabad are making sure they have the Panchakattu Dosa. And
Very
because you
sweet of
said
you.
culinary capital, I think now is a great time to be a food curator in Hyderabad. People are only now becoming more experimental. So a conceptual restaurant with just a very specialized cuisine will do well because people are really trying out new things.
You know, also, since you've mentioned about experience, I don't know what holds more influence today. Do you guys think that it's a food chef, or is it the critic, or is it just the mere content creators today?
I think the customer feedback and the word of mouth by the genuine customer holds more influence than anything else. A genuine word of mouth can pull more crowds than any marketing gimmick. So if I see a place on a reel or an ad, I might not consider it so strongly. But if a friend tells me that, oh, I went there and I had a good experience, definitely I'm making sure that I visit that place. And because you mentioned chefs, a passionate chef who can passionately explain the creative process and make a story out of it, for sure that is more relatable and can pull crowds.
And I feel people are not just coming out to eat food anymore. I think they want something more than food. There were times where people stepped out for food. There were times for drinks. I think it's overall experience is what people looking for. I think food is just a part of it now.
Absolutely right.
So actually, for me, I have become the brand ambassador from a brand from like last one year. I've started doing content. It's a founder-driven content, gives you a more credible information, and people will get the trust. And if they find, if you are saying about something, if they find it right, the credibility will be impactful than someone else is coming and telling about our food. That's what I believe. So building that kind of content is more important than anything else. That's what I believe.
You know, 20 years ago, I think everybody used to also follow the chef. So wherever the restaurant went, the chef, everything was also about that touch that they had. Today, there could also be an anonymous genius, and you have built a huge brand around it. So for all of you as well, you all are sitting here building your brands beyond the kitchen, which is also the topic for our panel discussion. But is it just about the chef, or is it also building something way more, as she also shared that
It
it's
is
about?
totally not about the chef anymore. It's about building systems, telling a story, building an IP for yourself. Building teams around your brand. That makes the brand. I don't think chef is the primary source of any brand today, unless and until it's a chef-driven restaurant, which is a boutique restaurant. But if you want to scale, I don't think chef is the primary source today.
What do you think is? Is it the location? Because
No,
we're sitting in SAS right now. There could be a million restaurants here.
Yeah, it's not location alone. It's what kind of brand you build, the core team you create within yourself, the systems you follow. I think that's the larger picture than the product. Part of the product is food. The food is not alone in this whole game today.
So till date, we did not hire any experienced chef or any experienced master or cook, whatever. So we hire freshers, and we take them through the training process, and we train them SOPs and all. So they will become our main chefs one day. So the loyalty and and they will stick with us. If we hire someone experienced, so we can't 100% depend on rely on them.
They also come with a baggage, experienced chefs.
And they don't hear what we want and what we say. they don't believe in our vision. They'll just work according to their vision. That's the main problem.
Scaling is all about systems. It's not about individual.
So I'll add a bit here, and I'll propose a combination of the both. So we are a brand that believes a lot in craftsmanship. Mithai making is, it's craft. So we call our masters ustads. So all of our ustads have stayed with us 3 decades. So we really hold them very close, like family. And for us, the way they explain the product that they make, we as second generation, we're in so much awe when we hear how they make the laddu, how they make the kaju katli, and the fusion mithai also that they make. So definitely that gives power to the product. But at the same time, to scale, now we've set up a centralized factory, which is able to standardize what they make. And all the scalability comes from the infrastructure for sure. So creating a combination of a powerful product with systems that can take it to newer scales, newer levels, expand and all that. So that's all that we're trying to do. And it is possible.
So, we spoke of location, food not just being all about the chefs right now, but there is a drive in the consumer market today. I am a hardcore Swiggy Blinkit girl right here. So I know that I want all of you to come to me more than me coming to you. But we speak of experience, we speak of also those moments where everybody still wants to have a nice dine out or go and experience how, it's made, and a little bit of that hint that you see in a mithai shop. You've got all your options, right? So do you think the market is shifting from the consumers coming to you or you going to the consumers?
For me, I think the consumer is expecting an experience which we are giving. So what I always feel is food is something which all the guests really don't remember after the meal, but what you consume as an experience stays back with you. So that's my target audience. We kind of give an experience which you want to take back as a memory. That's what drives my brand at least.
So actually, we fall in a quick eat segment. So people just quickly they want to eat, and deliveries are like convenient. If they sit at office, if they can order, they have to get it. But the main problem with the South Indian breakfast is not meant for the packing. So the moment you pack dosa or any other dish from South Indian breakfast segment, so you will the taste will reduce. When you eat at the restaurant, the taste will be different. When you eat, when it is packed, the taste will be different. So that is the main problem for us, but we can't do anything because we have to follow the market direction. We can't go against to the market direction. So we have to pick up that business also. That is very important and crucial for us.
So being in retail, we're food retail, less of a dining, but more of a food retail. So it is very much possible to do a Swiggy or a Zomato or a Blinkit of our products. But also being a brand that is so rooted in customization, personalization, Dadu's is a place that you'll go to not just for your usual kaju katli, laddu, all that, but you'll also when you have a gifting requirement, when you have a special event in your family. I know so many of my customers have actually, the ones that actually, know me directly, or even if they know any of our sales guys, they call us and they first tell us what's the happy news that has happened in their family. Oh, I had a baby, I just got married, we've moved into a new house. So it starts with a celebration. And when you are curating something for that celebration, there's a lot of interaction, there's a lot of personalization. So all that is possible only in person. Swiggy can't do that for you. So it depends brand to brand, and for us, we're grateful that our customers still want to come to us, while there are also those who enjoy their Friday pedas, and they can do a quick Swiggy.
I love how we did have a chat off stage as well to share all my secret peeves, which is Sunday dosa right here. And of course, celebrations are at Tabula Rasa, right? Because it's very close home. And all celebrations, like you mentioned, and Friday for me personally, for you. But when we speak about, let's talk about the tourists also. When they come to Hyderabad, I began this entire conversation with, of course, biryani being the story that we were selling. Today, it's very, very different. So let's say a tourist has 24 hours in Hyderabad. What do you think is the food story they need to leave Hyderabad with?
Like I said, I don't think it's about the food alone. It's about the culture of the city they need to explore, not food.
What are you going to sell, Shravan?
Huh?
What are you going to sell? What do you think they should leave with the story if not about the food?
It's not just the food. See, food, what happens is if someone is coming from Delhi, you need to teach him the culture first, then the food. Because his palate is very different. You need to absorb the culture of the city. Like even if you say Panchakattu Dosa, I think it's the culture of Rayalaseema than the actual dosa. Dosa is Udupi. Then are we relating dosa to Udupi every time? Then you'll never connect to Panchakattu. It's about the culture of Rayalaseema which he's presenting. Like if you come to Tabula Rasa, so we are not just doing a live music bar. We are promoting the on-ground Telugu talent who made a lot of bands, and there's a lot of culture around Telugu music. So
And you've also built a community with that. So soaking in the culture that you were speaking of.
So even a non-Telugu person coming into a bar experience a whole, a different connect to the local language. So that's what I feel more than the food. I think culture connects first, then food.
Really? And what about you, Muskan? How would you add to that?
I have actually hosted a lot of people in Hyderabad for just 24 hours and have tried to, cover the whole thing. So it starts with dosa. We also have a quintessential Jubilee Hills cafe, getting our coffees there. Then we have Telugu lunch. Bun maska is a part of it. And then definitely I make sure that they leave with a token of love in a box of laddus from us. So we try to cover the whole thing.
So sweet, but one thing that's also coming to my mind is, of course, we're sitting in SAS here, and you speak of culture, we speak of food, of how having probably everything. I'm sorry, I'm putting a little pressure on you guys for bringing in the Hyderabadi culture, everything over here. So the next time I have a friend visiting from Delhi or Bombay, I can just tell them to come here and experience everything that we're sitting here and talking about. All right, any one closing message that you guys do want to share as the latest trend that you've seen in your industry? I think I'll start with Muskan because you men have been taking over. I want to end it with my lady.
The latest trend in the mithai industry is personalization. Personalization is not a trend, but it's just more required now. People want a personal touch in everything. So even for our customers that have moved, across countries and now are sitting somewhere in America, when they have a special event, they want that special touch. And, that is something that we as a brand hold very important. It's a very key value for us. So personalization is super important. It's a value more than a trend. It's a value that is, that people really look for.
What I have seen now these days, dosa and South Indian breakfast has become a pan-Indian star. So earlier people used to see dosa as like a tummy filler, and just to break the fast, they'll just eat dosa and idli. Now these days, the South Indian breakfast has become a very precious and tasty thing. Wherever you go to any part of the country, people are talking about idli dosa. First, if someone meeting South Indian, they'll talk about first dosa and idli. That is the change that I have seen in these days in my segment. So because of that, the scope for the business has increased. So the demand has increased. So that's the main change that I have noticed in recent times.
Yeah, in my field, I think nostalgia sells more than anything. I think there has to be a good emotional connection. And nostalgia sells.
I think you've nailed it with that. And thank you so much to all of you for sharing your insights. And if there are any questions or anything from the audience, your guys are right here. So please go ahead.
Okay, what's your favorite restaurant?
You've put me on the spot now. Like I said, I've divided it according to the day of the week. You're on Saturday night. All right, so I think we have a brilliant audience here, by the way. I think we've kind of covered everything. Thank you so much, everyone, for your time. And thank you, I think, from all of us together. Thank you.